Hi everybody, thanks for joining us today. My name is Wendy Stunt and I work alongside the team in Northwood Technology. Today we are going to interview the Regional Sales Manager Mick Dolan of Avigilon. Mick works alongside two of his colleagues, Mark Dempsey, who is the sales engineer and looks after the technical queries for the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. And he also works alongside Damien Gilheany, who's also the regional sales manager for Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. So delighted to have Mick on the call representing the team. I'm just going to invite Mick now to join us. Welcome, Mick. Thanks for joining us today on Northwood's YouTube channel. So delighted to talk to you about Avigilon and your products and solutions. To start off, my first question is, can you tell us a bit about Avigilon and why would one of Northwood's customers choose Avigilon?
Great question, Wendy, and thanks for having me on this channel today. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question because Avigilon has been around now for nearly 15 years, and it has had a reputation in the past of being something that's targeted towards larger customer bases, blue chips, multinationals. I have to say I came from the installer side before I joined Avigilon, so I was an installer. I know the pains and the trials and tribulations that they go through on a day-to-day basis. But they called me Mr. Avigilon in that space, and purely because I did love the way the Avigilon solution worked, not only from a customer end, but also from an installer base. From my point of view, I was sales, so I only got paid commissions based on margins, on what we actually washed out on, what they finished off in. And one of the best things about Avigilon was because it was an end-to-end solution, everything was supported by Avigilon. So if I ever had an issue, it was a single point of contact, a single call. So then I was able to get that kind of fix. And I have to say Northwood were fantastic with that as well, because at the time, Northwood were the supplier to the company I worked with. So we had a lot of hands-on assistance with Colm Hayden in Northwood. Yeah,
Colm certainly knows his stuff when it comes to Avigilon, that's for sure. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks so much for talking about the bits and pieces about Avigilon. See, because I think from the background from what you've said about Avigilon, like you say, people do think, and they get that it's a corporate product, and that it's not for SMEs or it's not for smaller companies, whereas that's not the case at all. And we're certainly finding that in Northwood, that we're getting more inquiries through the installers for smaller companies.
Oh, it's absolutely. And actually, if you go back about 7 or 8 years, it would have only been affordable by companies on that range. So individuals and companies who have known Avigilon from that time probably still have the perception that it is an expensive company. But Motorola Solutions actually acquired Avigilon about just over 2 years ago. And one of the tags for Motorola was to ensure that it was a solution for all. So it was to kind of make everything available at a cost point. We're never going to compete at the low end. It's never going to be like a Maplin's off the shelf camera manufacturer. It's not going to be at that level. But it is something that can work as a solution for a customer. And we'll always speak about solutions rather than a camera product or a VMS or a recorder. It is always about the solution. But yeah, it's definitely something that we've looked at and worked on over the past few years to make it more affordable to all.
Fantastic. So talking about solutions, and as you know, everybody's aware, we're in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. What solutions are Avigilon offering to, say, customers who I suppose have these new health and safety that they have to abide by these rules and regulations, so that they would need help?
Yeah. I certainly do. And a lot of it actually changes, doesn't it? So if you look at early on in the pandemic, people said don't wear a mask because it can actually be unhealthy. Yeah. And then now it's the norm. I mean, if you go into a place without wearing the mask, you may as well be naked, because people give you a bad look if you're not wearing a mask. Yeah, absolutely. But again, this is something that I'm quite proud of from an Avigilon Motorola Solutions perspective, because we did focus on enhancing the technology that was already there, that was available for the majority of cases. So things like no face mask detection, occupancy counting, the social distance measuring tool, these all became available to existing Avigilon customers during that by simply updating their firmware. So as long as they had the appropriate hardware,
Amazing.
the cameras and that, it became free of charge. Now,
Wow.
a lot of installers kind of get upset with that because there was nothing new for them to sell.
Yeah.
But the good news about that was that it did actually provide the labor opportunity for them. So actually enabling this or even repositioning cameras to provide that solution became something that was possible for the installer base. And as I said, it's all about the solution, but it's also about the relationship.
Yeah.
The relationship with us is also between the installer and the end user, the customer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you know, Motorola has always been a trusted brand when it came to communications, radio technologies. Avigilon has also been in that space when it came to CCTV and what we can do with the data from video. And that's something that, but again, because we didn't try to profiteer, it was something that I was really proud to be a part of Avigilon and Motorola at that stage.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about the occupancy counting, I often wondered at the very beginning when you'd be queuing outside the likes of the big Tesco's and that, and you know, wondering how, like, they would be standing at the door and they'd be using a clicker counting people in and out, you know. But I suppose how before COVID would these solutions been of benefit, like the occupancy counting, I suppose, from I remember saying to you there the other day about when you go into a nightclub and you'd be trying to get in and you'd be outside and the bouncer would be saying we're full, and you'd be saying you've 3 floors, say if it was, I don't know, like you know, one of those big places on Dawson Street, and you'd say, well, you know, how does he know now that that's full? But it could be something like the solution that you have. So I suppose big businesses that need to know the numbers, or that, you know, for insurance purposes, obviously they need to know you can have X number of people in. So it's a really good solution.
And it is just about knowledge as well. So I mean, data now is becoming like a tagline for every business, and regardless of what the technology you're using is, data is king. You know, it used to be cash is king, but now it's data. And one thing about video data is that if you're capturing people as they come in and as they go out, you're doing it in real time. So you're getting a real database of solutions. Whereas if you're using a clicker, first of all, you have a resource, you have a person that needs to stand there doing this, but you're also responsible for clicking both in and out. So what happens is
yeah.
So
I did like, oh, he missed him. I didn't see him click.
Yeah, or there's 2 people there. Yeah. So there's always that kind of what if. But no, the Avigilon solution actually uses our analytics, and Avigilon's analytics are rated among the reference analytic units in the world. So, you know, when it comes to how they work, they literally count directions of people going in and out of properties. You can even do it as a standalone solution. So if the customer is using a technology that doesn't allow for this to occur, they can actually put in a single Avigilon camera. And that one camera can, if it's in the right position, can count the occupancy of people in and out. That same camera can also do the no face mask detection. It can do loitering. It can do a huge amount more than just that one. But the important thing on that is that we don't license the different technologies separately. So once you have it in, you actually have it all opened up to do that. As long as you have the appropriate hardware and the licensed version, everything else is free of charge. There's no additional costs.
That's amazing. That's really, really good. And I suppose what's really important as well for our Northwood customers is that they know that, you know, they obviously need to know that they're offering the right solution to their customers at the end of the day. So what kind of industries do you find in particular that are using Avigilon, or is there a specific industry that you're finding?
Not anymore. But again, you go back 7 years ago, people would have said banking, pharmaceutical. So again, blue chip. But I mean, we look after quite a few retail customers and multi-brands in Ireland. We have a lot of individual outlets that use us as well. But like you're looking at last year, probably our largest sellers would have been distribution. So distribution centers, companies that are looking after logistics. Retail would have been one of our bigger ones, and now schools and colleges.
Yeah, of course.
So again, it's about, you know, being able to control that. And if you have a school environment where unusual motion detection or unusual activity detection is something that's important, that's also available through the Avigilon technologies.
Amazing, amazing. Do you have an Irish success story that you could share with us that the guys might relate to? One that we can share?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm also proud to say that the top 3 tourist attractions in the country are using the Avigilon solutions. So that's one. So you have, you've quite a few different industries there. Although they're tourist driven, they do different types of manufacturing as well in some of these. So it is good to see that. And I think it's because of how the Avigilon solution can be scaled. You can start off with a very small solution and add on to it as you need be. So whether it's license plate recognition, whether it's a point of sale. But the whole idea of this for the customer is that they constantly have a current software package. So a lot of different manufacturers are hardware based. So I always use the analogy, it's like buying a still photograph. So a lot of companies, you buy them, you get a still photograph, it sits there, but that's all it'll ever do. It'll never do any more than show that picture on the screen. With the Avigilon solutions, because it is software based, even in 4, 5, or 6 years' time, you could have the newest and greatest technology that's available on the marketplace simply by keeping your firmware up to date in that system. And that just allows the customer to do it. One of the biggest wins that we've had now over recent years has been in relation to mass transit, transportation. And you have one major transport company in Ireland now is using us throughout their entire estate. And now they're actually looking to bring in access control to that solution. So originally it wasn't Avigilon access control, and now it's moving in that direction. So the scalability for certain individuals is fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant. Great. It's great to hear. I mean, like, because it's a bit doom and gloom out there at the moment. So it's nice to hear that there is some good news stories out there. So let's talk a little bit about the cameras and sensors, and for our installers, how easy are they to install?
Yeah, I mean, it's usability and also serviceability on these cameras is important. A lot of the time, cameras generally don't have a service life anymore. They're pretty much, they go in, if they fail, you throw them out. The Avigilon cameras actually come with a 5-year warranty now as standard. So that's on everything from our basic entry-level camera, our H5M, all the way up to our 8 megapixel H5A camera, analytic camera. So that 5-year warranty kind of enables people to have a peace of mind, both from a customer and from an installer viewpoint. From an installation point of view, for the actual installers, they're among the easiest in the marketplace to both install and to configure. So we have a configuration tool, which is a software tool, but we also have a dongle, a little Wi-Fi dongle that so instead of having to have the camera and then go into a client machine, which could be 100 meters away, to view the camera and then make adjustments, usually by a telephone with a fella up on a ladder, which is always cold and it's always raining when you're doing that part. But what this does, this enables the guys just to put in a dongle, connect to the camera on a local laptop, and actually do the adjustments while they're up on the ladder or up on the mute. So it is extremely easy to do. Very, very simple.
Fantastic. Okay, brilliant. Well, listen, thanks so much for chatting to us today, Mick. It's been a delight, and I know the team at Northwood Technology thoroughly enjoy working with you, and Avigilon and your team. I know there's 2 other guys that work alongside you, looking after the Republic and Northern Ireland. So thanks for joining us, and look forward to working with Avigilon in 2021 and with the guys in Northwood.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Wendy. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that quick chat with Mick from Avigilon. If you'd like any further information on any of the products or ranges that we offer in Northwood Technology, please do get in touch. Our website is northwoodtechnology.ie, or you can give the team a call. They'd love to hear from you. In Dublin, it's 018601880, or Cork 021 2066853, and I'm sure the guys will be delighted to chat to you, and with any questions or queries. We are running numerous training sessions on Eventbrite if you want to have a look there, with a number of training sessions for January and February, and we'll be putting more up for March and April as well. Online, they'll be via Zoom, maybe an hour, 2 hours. Some of them will be CPD certified, some will be about sales, technical. So if you'd like to take the opportunity to upskill or get to know some of the new product ranges that are out there at the moment, please do check out our Eventbrite page. What I'll do is I'll pop the link underneath in the comment section so that you can find it quickly enough. We will also have some more training on the Avigilon projects there as well. So please do take a look at that. We're going to continue to do these interviews with some of our other suppliers so that you can see how the products and solutions can help you and your business. So take care and talk to you soon.